Hi, I'm Jen, a self-employed artist who makes coloring books, and I was wondering if you wanted to spend the day together. You see, I run my own small business from home, which means I have no coworkers. But I'd love for us to keep each other company, and so I thought I'd bring you to work with me, and hopefully we can have a productive day together. To get my day started, I like to begin by writing down my to-do list in my planner, because this is the only sure way I know that I won't forget things that need to get done. So for me today, I'm planning on packing my shop orders, and as well as the first batch of Patreon mail for June. But before I can start packing, I need to make some stickers and print out my rewards first. I also need to schedule a meeting for a collaboration that I'm doing next month, and I want to start doing some research into wholesaling, and lastly, I need to post a short video that I made to Instagram. So there's plenty to do to keep me busy today, but before I go ahead and tackle my list, part of my morning routine is to journal. I have been a long-time journaler for more than 10 years now, so it's become a natural habit of mine to spend a few minutes of my day just to write about my thoughts in a stream of consciousness style of writing, meaning that I just let out whatever comes to mind and flow it out onto paper. I often write about what I have to do for the day, how I'm feeling that morning or in that moment, where my energy level is, and really just anything that comes to mind. Now, I would consider myself to be a morning person over a night owl, but I typically have more energy in the afternoons. That's also when I feel the most creative often, so I've reserved the afternoons for tasks that would take longer or need more of my attention. So for the first half of my days, I typically will do most of my computer or admin type of work, as it usually doesn't demand very much out of me. Today's computer work mainly includes doing research into wholesale. And in case you're unfamiliar with the term, wholesale is when goods are sold in bulk to businesses or retailers at a discount, so then they can then go sell your products to their customers. Throughout my small business journey, I've often considered getting started with wholesale, but never really took any steps towards making it happen. But I think it's about time that I do some research and make a plan to actually do it, because I'd like to see how it'll go and if it'll help my business grow. And part of the reason why I'm deciding on doing this now over any other time is because I like to get involved with the local community here in Austin. I moved here almost 4 years ago, and everything still feels brand new, and I think it'd be nice to connect with other local businesses. Plus, I think it'd be nice for local customers to pick up and flip through my book in person. So to educate myself, some time ago, I saved a link from the Peach Fuzz on Instagram. It's a small business resource post that she made about how to get started with wholesale. So after I read it and take some notes, I hope to be able to make a more structured plan. I'll leave the link to this post in the description below, but some key takeaways that I will be doing as part of my wholesale plan is creating a catalog, research local retailers that I'd like to connect with, and apply to FAIR, which basically is the marketplace for wholesale. There are other things that I'll have to do as well, but I'm feeling more excited to get started, and if you're interested to see that journey, please let me know and I'll be sure to make a video about it too. But I think that'll do for my research and initial wholesale planning for today. And while I'm still in computer mode, I'm also just going to go ahead and schedule that meeting I have for later in the week and check off 2 tasks from my to-do list. For the remaining time before lunch, I'm going to go ahead and post that reel I need to Instagram. It's pretty much ready to go. I just need to write a caption and upload it. Immediately after that, I did get a little distracted because I got an email about a $15 rewards credit that was going to expire soon from Michael's that I just didn't want to pass up. So I just bought some marker paper to try out for when I print out my own coloring pages at home. Most of the time, I've used thick cardstock, but I want to find an alternative that will handle my Copic alcohol markers better, so we shall see how this paper performs. So I've just had my lunch and I'm fed and I'm feeling energized to get started on packing my shop orders and my Patreon mail for this month. For a while, I used to pack all my orders on Sundays and drop off my packages on Mondays to the post office, but I recently shifted to packing on Mondays instead, with drop-offs happening on Tuesdays. I feel like it just makes more sense because the post office tends to have more closures on Mondays for holidays, so I think it just made sense to make that switch. Now, to get packing, I actually need to make a few things. For orders, I need to make the I Love Staying Home sticker, as well as the Boba Friends sticker pack, plus the packaging for that. For Patreon, I need to make the sticker, I need to print out the deco sheet and coloring sheets, and I need to make the label stickers as well. So lots to do, but we can manage. As some of you know, I've been making my stickers at home since I launched my shop using my printer and Cricut. And personally, I find that manufacturing things like stickers and printed goods at home is pretty great because I'm able to keep costs relatively low, and I just don't have to worry about minimum order quantities, which are pretty typical when you outsource. Now, while I do find a lot of pros with the at-home approach, I'm finding myself at a bit of crossroads with my sticker manufacturing, and I haven't decided which direction to take yet. Because on one hand, like I mentioned, when I make stickers at home, I can pretty much make the exact number of stickers that I need, even if it's a random number or a low quantity. Whereas if I were to outsource, there is typically a minimum order quantity, which is expected, but it's usually more expensive than what it would cost me to make myself, and in some cases, the lowest minimum is still more than what I need, which means I'll end up with extras to store or to sell. However, I think I'm at a point where the process to make my stickers is becoming too long, and it's become too tedious and cumbersome. And maybe if I did the math and broke it down, perhaps it would show me that it's more cost-effective to actually make the switch to outsource, because I took 3 hours today to make everything that I needed for my orders and for Patreon. Sure, that includes other stuff in addition to my stickers, and I was also recording myself, which usually makes things take a bit longer, but it's still a lot of time that I spend most weeks doing. I think I'm only a bit hesitant because I'm so used to the process, and it's just more familiar to me. But now that I'm talking and I'm thinking about it more, and if I'm seriously considering wholesale, it may be better to outsource, or alternatively, I could get another printer in Cricut to speed up the process, but that's not really feasible either for me right now because I don't really have the space for more equipment. Plus, my main focus isn't in my stickers, so maybe I do already know what I need to do and just try outsourcing. These are the things that come with running a small business, is making decisions and making pivots. So I'm just sharing just some of the things that I face while I run my own business. Okay, so now that I'm done ranting about my outsourcing opinions and I have everything I need for my orders and Patreon mail, I can actually start packing everything. I think I'll start with my Patreon mail just because I enjoy it a little bit more than packing my shop orders. My process is pretty simple and streamlined for packing these Patreon mail, and to reduce any mistakes while I pack, I like to pack in groups based on the 3 different mail tiers. I always start with the combo tier that gets everything, so the rewards include a sticker, a postcard print, a coloring sheet, a deco sheet for journals and planners, and a label sticker. I set everything out and I count out exactly how many envelopes I need ahead of time so that I don't accidentally miss someone or prepare too many. Then it's just rinse and repeat with the other tiers, but with slightly less rewards. And while I'm on the topic of Patreon rewards, in addition to physical mail benefits, every month I offer brand new digital goodies like wallpapers, extra coloring pages, exclusive videos, and bonus content about my small business and coloring books. It's pretty cool, I'll say, and when you sign up, you also get access to all the stuff from previous months too. So, if that sounds like fun and something you're interested in, I'd love to welcome you. So, with Patreon mail packed and ready to go, it's time to pack my shop orders. Most of my orders typically include my coloring books, so I usually start by tallying up how many of each book I need and bring them over to my desk. If orders have other items like stickers, for example, I'll also grab those and have them nearby so that I can pack my orders all together without having to get up and go find other things. I also like to grab all of the packaging materials that I'll need, so mailers, boxes, tape, etc., and keep it handy as well to make packing a bit more streamlined for myself. In an ideal scenario, I'd love to have a designated packing station where all of my supplies and inventory are in close proximity, but due to limited space, this setup works well for us now. But yeah, my packing and shipping process has remained pretty much the same over the years, and I haven't really had to make any changes. But to put it briefly, for shop orders, I either send packages with stamps or shipping labels. Stamped mail is reserved only for shop orders that can fit in an envelope, which are typically small orders that include only stickers. For larger orders or orders with bulky items, so like pins, washi tapes, my coloring books, etc., I send those out with shipping labels that I get through SHIPPO. I know I get a lot of questions here and there about my process, and I did make a whole video explaining how I do it, but I do plan to make an updated version to answer new questions that I've gotten, to clarify some points, and as well as explain how I set up my shipping on my shop. Okay, that was the last item that I had left on my to-do list, and we've managed to accomplish our plans for the day. I really appreciate days like this where I have the energy to get things done and where everything goes accordingly. I do try to make every day count, and I try to stay positive and optimistic, but not all days are as productive as I'd like them to be. It just works out that everything I did today are things that I've done plenty of times before, so I can pretty much expect things to work out in my plan's favor. But because I'm happy and in a good mood from having a nice day, I'm going to spend some time in my sketchbook. I try to doodle and make art for fun and for myself whenever I can and am able to. Because the nature of my work requires me to be creative, however, if you take today for example, a lot of my time is consumed with other work that isn't making art. So to exercise that creative side of myself in my mind, I've made a conscious effort to draw for fun. I do this also because I don't want every moment that I sit down to draw to be for work or for a product or for a specific reason. I think it can become overwhelming very quickly, and I love making art. It's fun, and I want to keep it exciting for myself. Now, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today. I really appreciate you for keeping me company. I'm just going to keep on doodling for a bit now, but if you'd like to see more casual studio vlogs like this from me, please leave the carrot emoji in the comments to let me know, and I'd be happy to. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and making it to the end. I hope you have a creative day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!